You'll find many different religious beliefs within the countries of our world. Religion plays a major role in our world, and some countries are associated more than others to religion. In this episode, I'll be listing 10 of the most religious countries in the entire world. Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome back to FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and one thing that I do have to point out is that this video is going to be based on the perception of religiosity by the general public and not necessarily reflective of the actual adherence of individuals to a religion. With that said, let's just jump right in. The country that we're starting off with at number 10 is Lebanon. Lebanon is a country in the northern Arabian Peninsula, and it's located at the crossroads of Asia and Europe. And it gave birth to early kingdoms and has been at the center of religious and political disturbances throughout history. Signs of civilization in Lebanon date back more than 7,000 years, and the land eventually came under the rule of the Roman Empire and then the Ottoman Empire. Following the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, Lebanon eventually gained independence in the year 1943. 68% of Lebanese people identify as Muslim, and 32% of those being Sunni Muslim, and 31% of them being Shia Muslims, as well as other smaller Islamic branches make up a smaller percentage. You'll also find another 32% of the population being Christian. The country at number 9 is the country of Oman. It is the oldest independent state in the Arab world. Oman is located in the southeast corner of the Arabian Peninsula, and the country was always of interest to foreign powers due to its position for Indian Ocean trade. Controlled by the Portuguese in the 1500s and later the Persians, the country eventually formed close ties with Britain in the late 19th century, but never came under its power though, so never was a colony. Oman is a high-income country that earns 84% of its revenue from oil resources, and Oman is a Muslim country, but around 13% of the population is Hindu. Qatar is located on a small desert peninsula that extends northward into the Persian/Arab Gulf. It's Persian Gulf or Arab Gulf depending on who you ask, but either way, Qatar fell under the Islamic Caliphate after the rise of Islam in the year 628 AD, and was afterwards ruled by several different powers. Since the mid-1800s, the country has been ruled by the Al Thani family, and Qatar became an independent state in the year 1971. Now, it's a country that's rich in oil and natural gas. Qatar is one of the wealthiest countries in the entire world, and most citizens are Sunni Muslims, and almost the remaining rest of the citizens are Shia Muslims. Next up, let's look at Turkey. Turkey has been home to all three great Abrahamic religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. 99% of Turkey's people today are Muslim. And the capital city, Istanbul, is also the historic location of Constantinople and still has active Orthodox churches. Roman Catholic churches are also there, as well as Protestant churches. And Turkey's Jewish community has some roots there too. Like, for example, St. Paul was born into a Jewish family in the Roman city of Tarsus on Turkey's eastern Mediterranean coast. From there, we look at the next religious country by perception. We have Jordan. Jordan is a small country located on ancient biblical land, and the country is one of the most liberal in the region. Muslims make up 97.1% of the population, predominantly Sunni Muslims, and Christianity makes up 2.1%, and the majority of those are Greek Orthodox Christian. Jordan was under the rule of the Ottoman Empire until 1918, and later it was a mandate of the United Kingdom, and then Jordan became an independent kingdom in the year 1946. The country of Jordan lost the West Bank and East Jerusalem to Israel in the War of 1967. Years later, the country joined Egypt and became one of the two Arab nations to make a peace deal with Israel. Now, halfway in at number 5, we have Egypt. The vast majority of Egyptians, 90% to be exact, identify as Muslim, most of them being of the Sunni branch. 9% identify as Coptic Orthodox Christian, and the other remaining 1% identify with other denominations and religion. Egypt, of course, is one of the world's earliest and greatest civilizations. Its location at the northeast corner of Africa, bordering the Mediterranean Sea, has really made it a cultural and trading center. And Arab and Islamic traditions shape the country's culture, but also African, Mediterranean, and Western elements influence the country. Moving on to number 4, United Arab Emirates. According to the CIA fact book, 76% of the population of the country are Muslims. Christians are the largest minority community, making up 9% of the country's population. Followers of other religions make up the other 15% of the population, and Hindus and Buddhists have the highest following among other religions in the country. The country is made up of a federation of monarchies where the legal system is really a mix of civil as well as Islamic law. And the United Arab Emirates is very well known for its 2 largest cities, Dubai, of course, and Abu Dhabi. And these 2 cities bring in millions of tourists every single year. Up next, we have India, the birthplace of Hinduism and Buddhism. It's also the world's second most populous nation after China. For many years, India faced attacks from the north by the Turks, Arabs, Persians, and others. And by the 19th century, it was Great Britain that became the dominant power of the Indian subcontinent. India eventually gained its independence in the year 1947, and that is a very big day in history. While 94% of the world's Hindus live in India, there are also a large population of Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, and Buddhists, as well as Jains, living in India. Number 2 is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a massive country. It's the giant of the Middle East, with the vast majority of the land and wealth of the Arabian Peninsula falling within its borders. Millions of devout Muslims from around the world participate in the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca each year, which is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. It is the birthplace of the Muslim prophet Muhammad, and there's a strong religious identity that fills the country, with the majority religion being Sunni Islam. Islamic Sharia law governs all aspects of life. But surprisingly, Saudi Arabia, you'll find a lot of foreign workers living there from different countries who are non-Muslims. You'll find a lot of Christians, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, and even Sikhs. Now, topping this list at number 1 when it comes to religiosity by perception, we have the nation of Israel. Israel is the only Jewish nation in the world, and it's a small country on the eastern shore of the Mediterranean Sea. It is a land that has historic biblical roots, and it's often referred to as the Holy Land. For its relatively small size, the country has really played a massive role in global affairs. The country has a strong economy, it has significant landmarks, and it's a place that is actually recognized by several religions. Well, at least the landmarks within the country. But because the land is disputed, they have run into a lot of trouble and disputes with their Arab neighbors. Either way though, 81% of Israelis are Jewish, while the remainder are mostly ethnically Arab and religiously Muslim, which is about 14%. And Christianity makes up 2%, as well as Druze makes up 2%. There you have it, guys. That wraps up this episode on 10 of the most religious countries in the world. But remember, this was based on perception of religiosity. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and also leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this video, about anything that I shared in this episode. And don't forget, if you haven't done so already, subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when new videos are posted. Until next time, guys, stay awesome, stay educated, and I'll see you soon.